Yo, 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 you tuning into the Notion Podcast. I'm your host, Dizzy D.Spill, and this is another episode of Outlawed Opinions. I don't know how I feel about this episode, y'all. I don't. I've tried to avoid the conversation regarding politics, but it doesn't make any sense to do that too often, understanding the magnitude of how these things affect my family, my children, God willing, grandchildren, friends, business. You know what I mean? Politics affect all of these things, whether we want to talk about them or not. So I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. But right now, while people are starving and people are figuring out how they're going to feed their families, this ended up being news right here. The internet had a lot to say about JD Vance and Erika Kirk's intimate hug. Okay, there's a lot of ways that you could go about this. There's ways that I can share my synopsis on these things. But, just for conversation's sake, don't try to bite my head off in the comment sections. I'm just sharing my thoughts on the controversy and the conversation. They're just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't deal with it. Cool. But enough with the disrespect, because you're going to get it back at this point, baby. I'm just telling it like it is. All right. Now, obviously, this is at an event, right? And this sparked some backlash. It's safe to say that it's probably people that don't really agree with the memorializing of Charlie Kirk and the affiliation with the current administration right now, JD Vance, Trump, and etc. Now, right here, you have this photo where they're giving each other a hug because JD Vance just came out. I think this is an event that Erika Kirk spoke at in Mississippi. Y'all let me know in the comment section the specific details, but I think that's the event. And, as far as in people that obviously have that shared thoughts and beliefs on the other side of the Republican Party, wanted to chew this up. The reason why I'm jumping to that assumption is because I don't really see a whole lot of right-wing people really coming down hard on the Republican Party. I mean, they're really one with a lot of things. They'll be wrong together. They'll be right together. They'll be passionate together. And not saying that the Democrats aren't like that, but I see it a whole lot more on that side. So, the internet had a lot to say about JD Vance and Erika Kirk's hug being intimate. Is it an intimate hug? From the photos and some of the clips, yeah, it does look pretty extra. But I don't know these people personally. I don't. From my personal perspective, yeah, it's a little much. You know what I'm saying? Especially if one person is grieving and the other person has a wife and they got families and stuff like that. It looked a little much, but that's how things look, right? Some people overlook it, but the internet had a lot to say about this. Okay, so here's a comment right here. The only thing that held faster than Erika Kirk's heart was Donald Trump's ear. Oh, I'm sorry, held. Let me read that again. The only thing that healed faster than Erika Kirk's heart was Donald Trump's ear. So they're not pulling any punches. Here's another one right here that I thought was pretty wild. Let's see. Boom. If a woman hugs my husband like this, she better be ready to fight. That's coming from a woman. This one right here, Charlie Kirk right now, I thought this one was a little insensitive, a little dirty. You know what I'm saying? That man lost his life and those babies lost a father. I thought that was pretty cold, but that's the internet for you, man. The internet is a very harsh place, man. The more you care about, the less you should show on the internet, in my opinion. This comment right here, Erika Kirk just said, no one will ever replace my husband, but I do see some similarities of my husband and JD. To me, that could be a reach. I get what people are saying, but that could be a reach because I lost my father at a young age, and there's so many people that I've came across that reminded me of my father, and I've had certain father figures here and there in my life and never felt like they were trying to replace my father or I never felt like I was trying to find a replacement for my father. So that could be a reach. come on, man. People remind you of a lot of people all the time. I have friends that, when I went to a different school, they reminded me of a friend at a school that I just left before getting to that school. Y'all know what this is. I thought that was a little bit of a reach. But that's the internet for you, right? Here's another one. This was taken at the same event where JD publicly complained about his wife belonging to a different religion. Yeah, I don't really know how I could defend that one right there. As a married man, I don't I'm not sure it's a really good idea to kind of take a little minor jab at your wife and then, have like this very endearing, intimate moment with another woman, regardless of what her marital status is. That one right there, yeah, I do agree with. You're supposed to do your best, right, to protect your husband and your wife as far as reputation and image at all times, especially when you're on a large platform and you happen to be a president or a vice president of any type of entity, let alone the United States. So I kind of understand that one right there. I do. The internet, it's undefeated for a reason, right? This comment right here was a little let me see, let's see. Widower here. Widower, yeah. Widower. Well, why am I fumbling right now with these words? Widower. There we go. You got to slow it down sometimes. Can't go over the speed bump. Crazy miles per hour, right? Widower here. Holy Dirty Dancing Batman. I like the Adam West reference. FYI, on grief forms, there is a subclass of widow called liberation wids. People who actually hated their late spouses. Death freed them to get busy. They act like hot singles almost immediately. Just saying. Now that's coming from a widower here. And so I can't really, that's the internet. Let me tell you something. Y'all folks on the internet do not pull punches. Those of you that are behind a computer screen or a phone screen, you guys really don't pull any punches, man. I can't really speak on that. I know people in my family that are widowers, so maybe I can ask them a question and get their opinion on what they think. But that's coming from somebody that's experienced the same thing as her. I will say this. We can't have expectations for people to react to things how we personally reacted. If we did that, then we would never be different. We would never be unique if we did everything the same. So that's my synopsis on that. I'm not going to say that person is right or wrong. And, that's just where I got to leave that. As far as this one. Now, this is probably one of the most coldest ones because this is a situation that really happened where, the CEO, and you guys know the story, the Coldplay concert, the CEO got caught, messing with somebody and they were put on the Jumbotron and without the group knowing, but they plastered JD Vance's face on the CEO, and the mistress was obviously Erika Kirk. Now, I will say this. I can't really speak on JD Vance, really can't speak too much on Erika Kirk, but I do feel like that woman was thrown into a lot as far as trying to expedite the process on creating the story and this memorialized image with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel for her. I don't really think the woman got enough time to grieve before being thrown on stage and always having cameras in her face. She has 2 children to raise. So I will say that. That's just my opinion as far as in being a human being. Now, how you go about that and how you allow yourself to be perceived to the public, that's personal choices. As we see, some people have disagreements. They have their thoughts. They're feeling a certain type of way. And that's part of public information and what happens when you make certain choices in public. Do I find the interactions weird? Yeah. I even felt like the clips that was going around with Donald Trump at the Charlie Kirk memorial, I thought was strange, and how him and Erika Kirk engaged with each other. And then even just the memorial itself, it really, I'm going to be honest, it looked like a rally more more than a memorial. But again, I can't tell people how to mourn, and I can't tell people how they should celebrate the life of someone else. Usually, in the Black culture, in the Black community, in the Black church, we have a habit of saying the celebration of life. I'm not saying we coined it and we owned it. I'm just saying in our community, we say we celebrate life. When you're giving the eulogies, you're giving stories, and you're sharing inspiration, and you're coping with your emotions at the same time. So I can't judge anybody else. Like I said, I can give my opinion for sure, right? I can give my opinion for sure, but I can't judge other people and say, nah, this is how it goes. I'll tell you what I think and how I operate, though. I don't know if I want my lady doing all of that type of stuff, in my memory or whatever the case is. I'm different. Culturally, we're territorial. But again, it's culture, it's environment, it's tribe. All of those things build up and create who you are as far as in character. I think there's more things that we could focus on in the world right now, like the fact that a lot of people are going to be without food this month, and it happens to be the month of Thanksgiving. There's things that we could be doing to improve as a society and as a country and as a city and as a state, depending on where you're at. But since it's a conversation, my thoughts are, yeah, it looks a little extra. In my opinion, yeah, it looks extra. Do I think people should crash out and people should create assumptions and all that stuff? Nah, because there's no proof of anything other than what you see and what you think is going on based off of the information that's presented in front of you. Do I think it's excessive for two people that are obviously their hearts and are belong to other people and marriage and children? Yeah, I do. There's a certain level of respect and a certain level of engagement you're supposed to be with the opposite sex, when you are in love or when you're married or all of that stuff. And it looked a little much. I'm not saying it was explicit, but it looked a little much for me as far as if I have to give an opinion. But as you see, other people gave their opinion, and you are welcome to give yours in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Was Erika Kirk and Vice President J.D. Vance doing too much, or is people just doing too much, saying too much because they don't like, the Republicans? They don't like Charlie Kirk. They don't like J.D. Vance. What do you guys think? If this is your first time tuning into the Notion Podcast, make sure you press that subscribe button and turn the notifications on at the bell. But most importantly, share your thoughts on what you think about the conversation. Is it doing too much? Is it irrelevant? I want to hear it all. Thank you for tuning into the Notion Podcast. I'm your host, Dizzy D.Spill, on this segment of Outlawed Opinions. Until next time, peace.